Good morning. Took a while to sign on. Hope we have a good signal. There's vetiver and orange in the diffuser again today. Hey, Nina. Carolyn. Hi, Mom. Hey, I turned around good. Okay. Hi. Tanya, thank you so much for letting me know more about Amazon. I have some Amazon affiliate links and wasn't using them as well as I could have been. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'll go add some more stuff in there. Why not, right? I've got nothing to lose. If you're in a state that allows you to be an Amazon affiliate, you can set up a little store and put all the things that you are always talking to your friends about in your store. And then if they buy through your link, you make like a teeny bit, like it's small, like 4%. Yeah, I definitely will. I'll do it today. All of today's activities, I was a day ahead of myself. So I worked really hard yesterday, and I actually, because I was a day ahead in my planner, so I got everything done except writing Nina back. And that'll be done today, so then I'll spend time on that Amazon store. So that's not what we came here to do, but I want to tell you. Yeah, and the Big Magic book is in there too, which we're starting Big Magic with Elizabeth Gilbert on Sunday. You don't have to buy the book. I'll read it to you, but just in case, you can get it through that link, which is in our ParaFam group. And these are the Desire Map groups that are coming up. Let's see. Ticket sales for this one end February 11th. Ticket sales for this one end. I love it, Nina. For this one end, I think also February 10th, maybe the men's group. Oh, we're going to start a book club study and spirituality discussion on Sunday about it. If you'd like to join us, that would be awesome. Okay, let's read our Tao Te Ching. The Tao and Byron Katie days, I do have to say, are my favorite. I know, right? Maybe I can stock up better on Periscope and not get all wigged out when I run out. Or stock up on coffee. Yes, coffee. We'll start here. I slept enough, I think, but I got broken sleep because I was up in the middle because Tonka was throwing a fit about something. Well, I know what it was about. He wanted in the bedroom, and he can't come in there right now because he and Grit can't leave Ginger alone. Okay, so we're on 46. Wanting less. We'll see what that has to say. It was really hard to get that to focus. I can't tell if it's blurry or if it's... Oh, that's great, Michelle. That's great. You're never going to suffer that long again with your oils you're going to get. If you get it, it's going to be a lot shorter. And honestly, more than half the time you won't even get it if you catch it soon enough. So, okay, wanting less. When the world's on the way... Capital W way. When the world's on the way, they use horses to haul manure. When the world gets off the way, they breed war horses on the common. Oh, that's a beautiful image. They do, Nina, they really do. The greatest evil, wanting more. The worst luck, discontent. Greed's the curse of life. To know enough's enough is enough to know. Hi, Dee. Glad you could catch us live all the way over where you're at. It's evening where you are, right? This is really short, but really powerful. When the world is on the way, they use horses to haul manure, and that's it. Just agriculture, farming, peaceful. When the world gets off the way, falls off the path, they breed war horses on the common. The greatest evil, wanting more. The worst luck, discontent. Greed's the curse of life. Oh, in the afternoon. Cool. To know enough is enough to know. So this goes right along with the greedy and graspy discussions we've had in the last few weeks. Um, Greed comes from wanting and not believing that you can have it. If you believed you could have everything with divine timing, you wouldn't get greedy and graspy about it. You'd put it out there that you want it. Thanks for the shares. Hi, Kim. You'd put it out into the universe that you would like to have this thing or experience or whatever it is, and then you'd let it go. And you'd work on being happy or whatever you do during the day. You wouldn't spend time fretting about it. It's the fretting about it that leads to the compulsive striving that we're letting go of. Yeah, you wouldn't, right? So say you win something. Say you win the lottery. You've got a lot of money coming to you, and you know it, but it's not in your hand right at that moment, so you aren't worried about it. Although God's not the universal lottery, well, maybe it is. But you're comfortable and content. You can feel that when you go to bed, there's a pretty good certainty that when you wake up, the sun is going to rise. That's something that, of course, isn't guaranteed, but we've experienced it enough and we trust the process enough. Hi, Cynthia, that we know that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. We don't worry about it. We don't think about it. We don't feel greedy and graspy toward, oh my God, I got to get some sun. Hi. We just trust. We just know. Right now it's night. Tomorrow, actually right now it's day. Tonight it'll be tonight. Tomorrow it'll be day. We just trust those processes. We don't worry about it. It's the worry behind the wanting. So people, I think, in my opinion, have misinterpreted that. Yeah, if you can put anything you want in your shopping basket, you don't care what other people have in their shopping basket. Hi, Linda. That's a great image. If you know your shopping basket can always be filled with everything that you want. Yeah, right, Carolyn. Oh, Carolyn's got the yin and yang symbol on her thing. That's cool. You don't worry about other people's baskets. You don't feel greed. You don't feel grasp. You don't feel a need to go out and take, such as when you're breeding war horses on the common. That doesn't happen. You're just using horses to haul manure to grow your crops, and hopefully you're treating them well. The greatest evil is wanting more. And I would say to that concept has led people to try to get rid of their desires, which is the exact opposite of what I do all the time, rather than try to get rid of their attachments. You can think, well, if I don't have donuts in the house, then I won't eat a donut. But you'll always be thinking about it. Maybe. You can't get rid of desire. Desire is life coming through you. Fighting against desire, yes, the wanting and believing you can't have is very painful. Lack of love equals lack, equals avoidance, equals consumerism, definitely. It's like a domino effect. There's nothing wrong with your desire part. Desire arises naturally. Desire for life, desire for experiences, curiosity, things like that. That is life coming through you. Your belief that you can't have it starts to twist and distort it. It creates greed. When you feel this massive desire and don't believe it can ever come to you, you feel greedy. Then you feel like, okay, it's not going to come to me, then I'm going to take it. I'm going to go get it, whatever it is. Because you don't trust. Sorry about that glitchy screen if you're seeing it on your end. I'm sure seeing it on my end. Bitter, right? It makes you bitter. So don't worry about fighting against your desires. You can't. But you can fight against the knowledge. You can understand that attachment to a specific outcome and belief that you can't have everything you want is what's twisting and distorting your expressions. It twists and distorts how things show up to you, so you get less than what you were actually desiring to experience, or it comes to you in a weird form, or it comes to you with an unreasonably high cost. Let's see what Stephen Mitchell has to say about that. I like today's reading a lot. Before you forget to ask, postmenopausal chronic pain, so normal for you to suffer brain or pain? Oh, brain sieve. That's hilarious. Sunday before noon Eastern, generally somewhere between 9 and 10, 10:30. I don't think I've been on any later than 10:30. Brain sieve. That's hilarious. Yes, Sunday, and then it's every other day. It starts Sunday, so then it'll be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, every other day starting Sunday. Yeah, roughly, yeah. Somewhere around then, yeah. I haven't started the Big Magic book yet, and on this, we're on chapter 46. 46 in the Tao, De Jing. And we haven't started Big Magic yet, not till Sunday. You're welcome. Please join us if you can, if you're up that early on a freaking Sunday. Yeah. Okay. When a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories make trucks and tractors. When a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. Oh, cool. There is no greater illusion than fear, no greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself, no greater misfortune than having an enemy. Isn't that the worst? Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. That's a good one. I'll read that again. When a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories make trucks and tractors. When a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. There is no greater illusion than fear. No greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself. No greater misfortune than having an enemy. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. You're safe or you're not. You're safe depending on which eyes you're using to view the world with. If you view the world with awake eyes and compassionate eyes, you see right through fear. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You know that you're okay. Even if you're dying, you still know that you're okay. Okay, 46. It's a long one, so I might just skim around in it. In this book, the Byron Katie book. 1,000 Names for Joy. Let me tell you real quick before I forget, because I've forgotten now for 3 days, but I saw it again last night. I keep seeing this this mental image of, so I hope I can explain it. So we have the earth, right? And I keep seeing old times as all these women like at a sales counter. You know, in scenes in a movie when like there's a bin of stuff on sale and women are just like beating the crap out of each other to save 50 cents on a pair of underwear. That kind of shoving and pushing and fighting and, you know what I'm saying. And then so I see that and I feel that grasping, greedy, get stuff. And then it changes to all these women who are holding hands, connected by, like in a star shape with your arms out and your feet out, like, you know, that Da Vinci drawing. You know what I mean? With their hands touching, their feet touching, and this light running from their head out through the root chakra and connecting to the woman below them. So it's like a web. So there would be a woman above me, a woman below me, a woman beside me on either side, with our hands touching, our feet touching, and then this ray of light attaching us all. And you know, like when skydivers form like interconnected patterns in the sky. It's like that, only it extends around the entire planet and it's all lit up. Like we're all still, the way I'm seeing it in my mind is we're all still all these different shapes and sizes and colors, and we're still human looking, but we're lit up and surrounding the whole planet in this web. Yeah, like a grid, like a web. It's really beautiful. So then I got the idea yesterday and wrote a whole outline for a book in like 5 minutes. And I'll work on it. It's coming out pretty quickly because I let go of the other book that wasn't coming out very quickly. And it's going to be called Life Revealed, Letting Go of the Get Mentality. Life Revealed, Letting Go of the Get Mentality. So I'm not going to set a goal or a time frame on it because that's kind of what screwed me up before. Well, no, that's not what screwed me up before. Yeah, what screwed me up before is trying to write the wrong book. I was writing the wrong book. Yeah, so I hope to have that ready for you soon. I don't expect it's going to be very large because I don't have a very long attention span. But this concept of letting go of get and grasp and greed is very strong for me lately. And the more I let it go, probably it's very strong because I've been focusing on divine ease. So it's bringing up, yeah, all of the stuff that comes with it. Who knows? Who cares? Who knows who cares? I'm super excited about it. It's been a long time since I was able to write. I didn't have writer's block. I just knew it wasn't the right time. And so yesterday the book came out, just super easy. Now it's just filling in the blanks. You're welcome. That's what a core desired feeling does. I don't know. Well, I think the Tao Te Ching is it. Yeah, inspiration. I think that our Tao Te Ching study, Carolyn, is, yeah, it requires saying, okay, the book I'm trying to write is clunky and it's not working and I'm going to let it go. And that was hard for me. I've never had to let go of a book. Never. But I had to put that other book down because it just couldn't make it work. So being willing to let your creations go when they're becoming distorted. Oh yeah, divine ease is my core desired feeling. So if you do desire map or law of attraction stuff, divine ease is the emotion I spend several sessions a day creating in my body. That's what I want. It was difficult, Carolyn. It really was. My Periscope group got to hear all about it. I was like, this book is not working. This book is not working. So you have to let it go. It's a hard one. It's just like, it's very rare that I have a drawing go crooked anymore because I don't work on them when I'm not connected. Just start saying that and it'll start showing up why it's not why it's not being allowed. When you start to say, I want divine ease in my life, where can I let go? The information will come. You don't have to go out and get it. It will come dancing to your doorstep. It does take some trust that I'm going to be okay regardless. Yeah, it's a great one. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, so let's see what Byron Katie has to say about it. There is no greater illusion than fear. Yes. Done. That's all we need to know. Carolyn, I'm so glad you're here. Find me on Facebook and we can talk more. L. Michelle Wolf, WOLFF. Yeah, you take it and run with it, ladies. Okay, and man, if there's men on here, I always forget that. If there's people watching on the web that might have boy parts. Okay, we can only be afraid of what we believe we are, whatever there is in ourselves that we haven't met with understanding. It's facebook.com/L Michelle Wolf. 2 L's, 2 F's. 2 L's, 2 F's. Thanks for the shares and the hearts. If I thought you might see me as boring, that could never happen. If I thought you might see me as boring, it would frighten me because I haven't questioned that thought. So it's not people who frighten me, it's me that frightens me. If I think you're going to judge me, I'm going to hold back my natural behavior. And by doing so, slowly kill myself. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. You can find me at caddyshackdesigns.com too. Gosh, I keep forgetting to say that. Here's the website where you can find me also, Carolyn. www.caddyshackdesigns.com. This is a commercial break. Need some background music. I don't have any. Okay. It's not people who frighten me. It's me that frightens me. That's my job, to frighten me until I investigate the fear. CaddyshackDesigns.com is our sponsor today. Brought to you by CaddyshackDesigns.com. The worst that can happen is that I think, oh, this is good, guys. The worst that can happen is that I think you think about me what I think about myself. So I am sitting in a pool of me. Listen to that one. The worst that can happen is that I think you think about me what I think about myself. If I think I'm boring, I'm going to worry that you're going to think I'm boring. If I think I'm fat and ugly, I'm going to worry that you're going to see me as fat and ugly, and I'm going to avoid. Right in the solar plexus. Gut punch. Gut punch. Whoa, Nelly. Right? That's why we get squirmy around people. Now, sometimes we are picking up that they see us as fat or whatever. There's only been like 3 times in my life where I recognized a pattern. Yeah, punch in the soul gut. Because I don't normally feel fat. But there was 3 different times in my life where I was around a particular person, different person, so 3 different people, where I felt their judgment of me as being fat because it was different than my own. I was like, ugh, why do I feel fat? Well, I noticed that I only felt fat around that particular person. So you can sometimes pick that up because it's different. Because I didn't believe that about myself, so I felt the contrast, and yes, I will read it again. The worst that can happen to me is that I think you think about me the same way I think about myself. Yeah. So I think that you're thinking about me the same way I'm thinking about me, and if it's not good, there's trouble. So I'm afraid you're seeing me as I see me, as flawed or defective or whatever's going on for us. Yeah. And that distorts our relationships. It distorts it and it twists it because we're interpreting our fear about how the other person sees us rather than asking them, how do you see me? I'm struggling with my self-esteem today. I feel like this today. How do you see me today? And then you get the, like, what? Of course I don't see you like that. And you're like, oh, I was stuck in a story. So let me deconstruct that story. I love the Tao. I've heard that. I don't have that one. No, this is the book I'm reading from now. We started with Ursula Le Guin's translation of the Tao Te Ching, which I love. And then every day we go from that, or every other day, then we go to Stephen Mitchell's Tao Te Ching translation. And then we end with Byron Katie's book. That's the one I'm reading from now, Carolyn. So all fear is like this. It's caused by believing what you think. It's always a story of a future. If you want fear on purpose, get a plan. Fear is not possible when you question your mind. He is great. Well, I grew up with him. like as a kid, my mom had his books on the shelf. I just have these two translations that we're working with, and I haven't read his, and I definitely will. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, Byron Katie's books, this book, so each chapter corresponds with the chapter in here. That's how they're connected. I guess it doesn't make sense if you don't say that, huh? I'm thankful that he was so productive. Like, he was massively productive. Okay. The worst that can happen is I think, you think about me, what I think about myself. Okay. That's fear. Fear is not possible when you've questioned your mind. Fear is no longer possible when you deconstruct your story. When you let go of the stories that you tell yourself all day long, you start to experience great stretches of time without fear. The story of a past is what enables us to project a future. If we weren't attached, yeah, he did love Byron Katie and Esther Hicks. If we weren't attached to the story of a past, our future would be so bright, so free, that we wouldn't bother to project time. We would notice that we're already living in the future because it's already now. Living fearlessly is natural when you've questioned your thoughts. People ask me what that looks like today, and I sometimes tell the story of the birth of my granddaughter Marley. When Roxanne went into labor, we were all there. Everything was going well, but suddenly the baby got stuck in the birth canal. She began to go backwards, and her heart was in distress. The hospital staff, the doctor, everyone was panicking. He decided on a C-section and dismissed us and wheeled Roxanne into surgery. She was screaming, and no one would tell us anything. So we had reasons to believe that she and her baby were in serious trouble. We could hear angry or panicked instructions at the end of the hall. An assistant from the ER ran toward me and asked me to call a number and tell the person who answered to come to the hospital immediately, then ran off without explaining what that meant. After I made the call, I walked over to Scott's parents. When they saw me, they said, "Katie, will you pray with us?" And the question surprised me. I don't have a reference for prayer. I looked into their eyes and thought, there's nothing I need to ask for. I want whatever God wants. But I joined them, of course. They took my hands, closed their eyes, and prayed. And I stood there with them, loving them, knowing how painful it can be to want a particular outcome. That's what we were just talking about earlier. We get greedy and graspy when we're attached to a particular outcome. We can't let go and live fearlessly as long as we're hooked into how the story needs to end. And only until we let go of that can we feel the love and power available to us in every moment. What was most needed with her daughter and granddaughter potentially, their life was at risk. What was most needed? Love, power. Love needed to be in the area. And she was able to do that only because she understood that even had they died, everything was still okay. Of course it would have been painful. Of course it would have been awful. But underneath it all, at the bottom of it all, everything's still okay because we're not separate. We're not separate. That's how she's able to do it, is she gets that part. And that's what it looks like. When things are going straight to shit, you need somebody who can maintain the channel, the open channel to love and powerful energy. God, whatever you want to call it. During this experience, there was no internal resistance and no fear. For me, reality is God, and I can always trust it. I don't have to guess what God's will is. She says often that God's will is not her business. Whatever happens is God's will, whether my child and grandchild live or die. And therefore it's my will too. So my prayer is already answered. So there's no need. I love Roxanne with all my heart, and I would give my life to save hers. And that's not what was being called for in that moment. As it happened, everything went well. Both Roxanne and Marley were fine. There is another way. If I had believed the thoughts, it's better for Roxanne to live than die, I would have been very upset. I might have barged into the ER, making it even more difficult for the staff and basically adding to the chaos of the situation. These are a few of the ways we react when we believe what we think. We panic, right? We panic, we freak out, we make everything worse. It's what the war with reality often looks like, and it's not only insane, it's hopeless and so painful. But when you question your mind, thoughts flow in and out and don't cause you stress because you don't believe them. They're just there. Like background noise. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear the little puffing of the diffuser, but it's just a little soft background noise. You instantly realize that their opposites could be just as true. Reality shows you in that peace of mind there are no problems, only solutions, options, ways out. When you're totally open and you're saying, how can we all see this differently? You are aware that there are multiple options in every situation. That's why psychics can't predict your future with any degree of true accuracy. Because in the next moment, your vibration can change and change your whole direction. So they can give you a good read on where you're at. But the next day you find a book that changes your mind, that opens your mind, that changes your direction, and your whole future has changed. So it's not that they're wrong. It's that we're constantly changing. I can tell you what I'm picking up from you today, and that can change 5 minutes from now. Hi, Melissa. There are no problems, only solutions. You know to your very depths that whatever happens is what should be happening. If I lose my grandchild or daughter, I lose what wasn't mine in the first place. It's a good thing. Either that or God is a sadist. And that's not my experience. And that's not my experience either. I don't order God around or source or love. You can't anyway. I don't presume to know whether life or death is better for me or anyone I love. How can I know that? All I know is that Source is good and Source is everything. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's the end of that chapter. But when we get into the universe's business, we really do ourselves a disservice and we do the people around us a disservice. If you can be the one in the crowd that holds the light, you can influence the turning of events. If you can be the one in your family that floods the house with happiness, amen. You can be the one that changes the course of your family's life. Because we know that families are like a symbiotic collection of energy. You can deliberately take control over what energy is being broadcast by you. Then other people get to choose, do they want to meet you there at that happiness or do they need to exit stage left? But they get to choose. Your only responsibility is to broadcast love. Yes, right. We pray for what we want and we let go of how we get it or if we get it. You can't stop desire, okay? You can't stop wanting. You can stop. Yes, exactly, Catherine. You can stop attaching to the outcome and putting so much pressure on yourself and others. Yes, you surrender the outcome to love because you don't have any control over it. The best thing that you can do is to fully recognize and embody the fact that you don't have control over everything. Only you and what you're putting out. So yeah, I desire certain things. I desire for the cabin to be finished because I desire for people to come and stay in it. But I have to let go of when that happens, and I let go of how that happens, and I let go of what it looks like. I choose content over form. I choose the feeling of a beautiful place where people come and stay and have silent retreats or just hang out with us or whatever, I stay focused in that feeling and that desire, and then I let go. Maybe the cabin can't be finished and we replace it with a tiny house. I don't know. I know the feeling that I want of an extra space on our property. Yeah, I relax while I'm experiencing that. That feels good. Oh, I want a beautiful space. Our cabin is becoming beautiful as we declutter. I want an additional beautiful space for other beautiful souls to come hang out with us. What that looks like, I don't know. I'm going for the content. The feeling that I want, the core desired feeling that I want is to share this beautiful space. And I stay anchored there, and it will start to take care of itself. I'm starting to wonder, because we continue to encounter blocks, I'm starting to wonder if the cabin can be remodeled or should be remodeled. So I'm open to listening. Maybe the cabin needs to come down, as cute as it is. We may need to replace it with something cuter in actually a different location. It's very close to the creek. Maybe the ground's unstable. I don't know. I only know that there's a lot of resistance when we try to get out there and do stuff. You could. You could. I mean, you could. It's dry. The door locks. There's electricity. I want a cushy, comfortable, supportive place, but yeah, you definitely could sleep out there now. And I would let you if you felt like that level of rustic. So Catherine's husband has health problems. I hope it's okay to talk about this. She's had to do a lot of letting go. Yeah, I think it may be best to replace it with a tiny house. Even though that costs more, I'm not worried about where that money is going to come from. So Catherine's husband has health problems and has had more than one, life-threatening experience with those health problems. So she's had a trial by fire of letting go of even the person that you love the most and understanding that today is all we've got. We don't know what's going to happen. We can only rest in the certainty that we have control over how we respond to it and what we do with that information. So she's had to let go and let go and let go and let go some more and let go even more. I mean, it's been an awful experience and a glorious experience. That's easy for me to say because I'm out here, but it has been an experience that's truly and 100% stretched her boundaries and her storylines. I had to decide I had the strength to survive. Yeah. It no longer serves your needs for the cabin. Yeah. I've been coming to that realization, Carolyn, over the last maybe week or so. So my core desired feeling is this feeling. And if the cabin cannot come to meet it, then the cabin goes away and is replaced by something that can come to meet it. Yes. Yeah, she's Katie 1010, Carolyn, CATIE 1010, Catherine with a C. So our circumstances in life can victimize us, or our circumstances in life can be used to make us look at our stories and deconstruct them and write new ones. Thank you, Carolyn, for saying that. That's a confirmation that I kind of needed to hear, I think. Anything painful in our life can be used as a tool for learning and growing more and more and more. And more and more. It doesn't stop. It never ends. So rather than what I see about Catherine's situation is, rather than let those circumstances turn her into someone who hates God, who feels victimized by a capricious universe, she's used it to strengthen her faith in God and strengthen her connection so that she knows that regardless of what happens, she'll be okay. She knows that. She knows that. But she could have gone the other direction, right? You've seen that happen. where people are like, well, fuck you, God, and screw this universe stuff, and I feel like a victim. And it's why you're on this path now, which is leading you to some awesome success, material and otherwise. Bitter, why me? Helped clear me to hear. Yeah, people can get bitter and feel like a victim and then start taking that. Yes, please do. This is an open sharing space. And then turn their hatred and anger on everyone around them. And Catherine did the exact opposite of that. Chris never asked why me, so how could I? So Carolyn was widowed at 24 years old. That's brilliant, Catherine. That's really, really cool. It had to have helped you look at your own stories. So widowed at 24, that's intense. Catherine and Chris have been through a lot together. A lot. So Carolyn's going to share her version. I can hear her typing. After 5 months of living in the hospital with husband prior to his passing, people would call him to cheer him up, and they were cheered up instead. That's beautiful. So, Carolyn, you lived 5 months in the hospital with your husband as he was in his deathing process at 24. Hi. Born too sweet. That's cute. He's an eternal optimist. So, Carolyn, it sounds like is one must live in one's own faith. Yeah. So that experience for you was similar in Catherine's experience, where you both could have taken it and turned into angry, victim-y women, but you didn't. Whatever that looks like. You used it to grow in your own faith, in your own spiritual path, your own connection to Source. He's like any other dude. Various mix of good or bad. You use it to survive. Yeah. Catherine has used hers to survive. Love the room you're in. Yes. So Carolyn, that's an amazing story. So young too. So yeah, I mean, there's no one on this scope that is viewing life as a complete victim, even though we may have our moments, because otherwise you wouldn't hang out and listen to this conversation. Because we look at our story and we deconstruct it. If we're viewing life with a victim story, we deconstruct that and rewrite the truth on it. Yeah. Maybe that might be pretty intense, but maybe Catherine and Chris could tell it together as inspiration for others. That might be tricky business, but something to consider, Catherine. You and Chris could tell your story. Might be good for your kids to hear. Well, maybe not your youngest, but yes, Carolyn, I'm glad you joined us. I'm so glad you joined us. Yeah, he should write a book. So yeah, that's the only power we have, right? It's to look at what your story is and decide if it's working for you or against you. And then you have the choice to question your thoughts and change it. If you want to use Byron Katie's stuff, it's at thework.com. Thework.com, and you want to look for the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. It's a PDF. Oh, me too, Susan. We've all had to go through that. Davis is Catherine's youngest, helped Philip's daughter with the past ordeal for them. Yeah, Susan, definitely. So Catherine's friend's husband recently went through a health scare. Oh, done it, still doing it. And so he was able to help his daughter because he's been through it with his dad. So that's sweet. That's really sweet. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for those hearts. So, thework.com, look for the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet and facilitation guide. Look for Byron Katie, BYRON KATIE on YouTube. Carolyn, if you find me and friend me, then Catherine will see your thing because she's on there. For more information about my stuff, it's at caddyshackdesigns.com, or you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/L Michelle Wolf, WOLFF. Lots of stuff here, and then I'll throw up the Desire Map stuff one more time just because the times are getting close. Men's tickets run out on the 9th or 10th. And then level 2 ticket sales stop on the 11th. So that's where you can find those. Eventbrite.com. My handwriting is terrible. I hope you can read that. Chicken scratchiness. Okay, so tomorrow tomorrow's Friday? No. What's today? Is today Thursday? See, my time's all messed up. Tomorrow's Friday, right? So tomorrow is Law of Divine Compensation. Today's Thursday. Friday, Divine Compensation. Saturday, Tao. And then Sunday, Big Magic. Okay, thank you. Yeah, see, that's what happened. I was on the wrong day all day yesterday with my planner. I was working Thursday's tasks. TMI in your hand won't work fast enough. I'd love to hear your story, Carolyn. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Okay, I'm going to wrap up for today and get on with the tasks I was supposed to do yesterday and get those done. Yeah, I like to replay too, because I like chit-chatting with people, and then if that's boring, then people can use the replay to skip forward to the content, and that's okay too. I love you guys. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for hanging out with me every day. Oh, to write down all the info being shared. Okay. Well, join us on Facebook and we'll get it all to you, Carolyn. There's tons of information and positivity and uplifting support. And when our stories come up, we've been able to share them and get group support in taking them apart and seeing where our thinking is distorted and straightening that out. So it's been super helpful to me, for sure. So I'm glad you came. Bye. Bye, lovelies. Okay. Love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, Cynthia. Yes. Yes, thank you for coming. Bye, Susan. I don't know if you're still there, Mom and everybody. We sound like the Waltons. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Sue.